Hey there everybody, coming at you today with another video. This one today is one of those things where it's not about how expensive it is, but how cool it is and what it's going to do for you. I'm going to cover two Kabar products, the Kabar 9909 Tactical Spork and the Becker Kabar BK23. Now, I was just doing a little surfing around on Kabar's website the other day and took a quick look at some of their new products, and I stumbled across these, and you know, for some pretty short money, I figured out I could get myself a couple of pretty neat little tools, and so I thought I'd share them with you today to see if it's something that you find interesting and something that might be helpful for you. Now first, this Tactical Spork. You know, I'm into backpacking and camping, and I find that, you know, I'm always looking for my spork or, you know, anyway, my camp utensils, and sometimes I kind of forget to bring them with me. I don't know why, it's just one of those things I tend to do, and so I find I'm always carving myself out a spoon or some sort of a utensil. And so when I see camp utensils that I'm interested in, I do tend to buy them simply for a couple of reasons. I mean, one, they're usually generally pretty cheap, and, you know, I find I'm often going with other people or my son, and so, you know, to have some redundancy is not a bad thing. And two, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, if you want to experiment with something new but you don't have a lot of money, you know, you kind of look around from time to time and find something that's reasonably cheap. And so I came across these and I thought it would be something worth taking a look. Now, at the time of this video, I found that the two best places to get these are either Amazon.com or eBay. You know, it's a little bit cheaper to buy them off either one of those sites and generally get yourself free shipping than it is to get these directly from Kabar, but still, either way, you can't really go too wrong. This is a cheap product, right around the $10 or $12 mark, depending on what you do. I paid a little less. I think I paid about $9.50 shipped, so not too bad, pretty good for the money. Neat little thing to play with here. And so let's take a look. I mean, first thing you can see is you have the sort of traditional looking Kabar grip. You know, this thing is plastic. It's you know, certainly not like a Grivery grip like you'd see on maybe one of the Beckers, but it's still you know, it's pretty nice in the way that it's created. Pretty cool and crafty the way they put this together. Let me show you some more of the details. So if you look here where the Kabar logo is, it's basically a separation point, and inside there is a knife. Now this is a serrated knife, appears to be plastic. It's reasonably sharp. You know, it's not going to cut my finger, but at the same time it'll definitely do what I needed to cut my food. I mean, I don't usually need a knife in a camp utensil set, obviously because I'm carrying my own blade, but just to have that is pretty neat. Now, it definitely has a little bit of weight to it. This is not going to be a lightweight option. So, I mean, pretty much I'd say you're carrying this if you're not concerned with weight or if you're looking for style points. So to give you a comparison against your typical cheap, lightweight camp utensil set, I mean, obviously, in terms of being a fork, it's significantly smaller than being a true fork, and in terms of being a spoon, it is also significantly smaller. I mean, good utility, yes, but you're not going to be getting the oversized bites, that's for sure. And in a similar fashion, pair that up against your lightweight Toaks titanium spoon. Again, I mean, significantly smaller in size, significantly heavier in weight. So, I mean, in some regards, I mean, what really do you gain? In my opinion, style points. Besides, who knows? Maybe I'll give this thing a custom kydex and run it piggyback with my BK9. Speaking of running piggyback, I thought this might be a pretty cool project for me. When I was on the Becker website looking at their new products, I stumbled across the skeletonized BK23. It's It's called the BK23 BP. It's a plain blade, skeletonized handles. It's pretty short. This is a small little thing. But let's break it out of the package and talk about it a little bit more. 3.25-inch long blade made of 5CR15 stainless steel. It's an overall length of 6.43 inches and comes with this kind of chintzy little plastic sheath, but at the same time, for something around $10, what are you really going to ask for? Now, what actually had me sold was the fact that if you look at the shape of this blade, it's nearly identical to the BK9. So I thought that was just really, really cool. And where I've been putting time and effort into tricking out my BK9, I thought, what a cool little idea if maybe I could get my hands on some similar brown micarta, give this thing some tasty handle scales, and run this as a piggyback option with this carry system. To me, that would be pretty darn cool. So I think that's a project I'm going to look into. I got to see if I can source myself some of this micarta. If not, I'll try to make some myself, maybe out of burlap or something that gives it a similar look. And that, to me, would be a nice little match. Now, it's one thing for the knife not to be made in the USA. I'm all good with that. But why do you have to label it China? I mean, nothing against China. I mean, you know, they make tons of plenty of good stuff, and I'm sure this blade's even pretty good, but I don't know. It's just something to me that just leave it off. I don't know why, if they're required to put that branding on there and actually label it or what, or if they don't want people to be confused and think it was made in the USA. I know it's a nitpicky detail, but why do you have to put it? And in terms of the retention on the sheath, sketchy at best. I do not think I would trust this around my neck, and definitely not. So anyway, just a little look at the retention there. Definitely sketchy at best. So beware, if you're going to buy this, that you'll either have to Kydex this, modify it in some way, or just simply not wear it around your neck. But anyway, that's the factory sheath for you. And so while I'm on it, I mean, let's talk this through a little bit. This thing's like 10 bucks, maybe a little more. I paid right around $10 myself. I mean, even if this went to $30 and you made it with at least some level of a handle scale, made it in the USA, and maybe even made it out of $10.95, so even if it went to 50 bucks, I'd say that would be a pretty cool little knife. I mean, to make a real miniature looking BK9, to me, be pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to have something that has a nice grip on it so I can really get to some fine work. Pair that up with this. Oh man, it's a match made in heaven. Well, there you have it, everybody. A real quick first impression look at a couple of pretty neat little Kabar items. Maybe not for everybody, but definitely something to consider. Maybe you only have a few bucks to spend and you want something cool. Yeah, not a bad way to go. Maybe you were looking for your camping style points. That'll get you partway there. Or maybe you need a little companion for your larger blade. Well, that'll do it too. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you found this a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.